First Contact Protocol. The observation vessel Quantum Seeker drifted silently in the shadow of Earth's moon, its adaptive hull absorbing all traces of radiation that might betray its presence. Inside the massive ship, Science Director Vexel stood before the central holographic display, his four compound eyes fixed on the rotating image of the blue planet. "Fascinating," he whispered, mandibles clicking softly as he spoke. "Simply fascinating." Behind him, First Observer Nari approached, her exoskeleton shimmering with the subtle bioluminescent patterns that indicated deep thought among the Zorvan species. "Director, the preliminary scans are complete," she said, extending a data tablet with one of her secondary limbs. "We've collected enough information to prepare our first report to the Galactic Science Council." Vexel took the tablet without shifting his gaze from Earth. The Zorvans had spent centuries searching for other intelligent life in their section of the galaxy. They had found primitive organisms on dozens of worlds, even some showing early signs of developing intelligence. But never had they encountered a species like humans. "Have you reviewed the historical data we've extracted from their information networks?" Vexel asked. "Yes, Director. It's troubling." Troubling. Vexel's bioluminescent patterns shifted to indicate curiosity. "These creatures evolved from prey animals into apex predators within a remarkably short evolutionary timeframe," Nari explained. "And their advancement from simple tools to space exploration occurred in less than 10,000 years. Our species took nearly 50,000 years to achieve similar progress." Vexel nodded slowly. The Zorvans were a methodical species, cautious and deliberate in their advancement. Their society valued stability above all else, and technological progress was carefully managed to ensure societal harmony. Humans, by contrast, seemed driven by a constant need for change, improvement, conflict, and resolution. Their violent history both repulsed and fascinated the Zorvan scientists. "What about their weaponry?" Vexel asked, finally turning away from the hologram. "That's where things become even more interesting," Nari replied. "They appear to have developed weapons for every conceivable environment and purpose. From simple projectile devices to thermonuclear warheads, biological agents, and directed energy systems. "Show me their most advanced military technology," Vexel requested. Nari manipulated the controls on her tablet, and a holographic display shifted to show images of aircraft carriers, stealth bombers, and intercontinental ballistic missiles. "Impressive," Vexel admitted, "but expected for a species at their technological level. What truly interests me is how they think, how they approach problems." "Perhaps we need a closer look," suggested Chief Engineer Tenvar, who had entered the chamber silently. The Council authorized direct retrieval of non-biological samples if deemed scientifically necessary. Vexel's compound eyes shifted toward Tenvar, his exoskeleton emitting patterns indicating deep consideration. "What do you propose?" "A covert extraction," Tenvar said. "We've identified a military research facility in an isolated region of what they call Nevada. Our scans detect unusual energy signatures from a device being transported there. It appears to be small enough for our retrieval drones to handle." "The risks?" Vexel asked. "Minimal," Nari interjected. "Our cloaking technology is generations beyond anything humans can detect. The extraction can be performed during their nocturnal cycle when activity is reduced." Vexel turned back to the holographic Earth, watching as it rotated to show the North American continent. The first contact protocol was clear: observation only, until a species developed reliable interstellar travel. But the scientific value of understanding human technology firsthand was undeniable. "Prepare the extraction," Vexel decided, "but extreme caution. No biological samples, no interaction with humans. We take one device, study it, and return it if possible." The preparation took a full Earth day. The Zorvans selected their smallest stealth drone, equipped with adaptive camouflage and gravitational field manipulators. The mission was meticulously planned: intercept a transport vehicle carrying the mysterious device, extract it without detection, and return to the Quantum Seeker. From the bridge of the observation vessel, Vexel watched as the drone departed, a tiny shadow against the vast lunar landscape before disappearing entirely as its cloaking systems activated. "The device you created," Marin said, gesturing toward the transformed HFY. "It's remarkable not just for its technology, but for its purpose. You could have created a weapon or a defensive system. Instead, you created a communication tool designed specifically for peaceful first contact." "Exactly," Dr. Chen smiled. "That choice reflects the humanity we aspire to be, curious, innovative, and reaching out in peace rather than fear." Vexel moved closer to the hologram, his compound eyes studying Dr. Chen's expression. "What is it you hope to achieve from this contact, Dr. Chen? What does humanity want from the galactic community?" "The same things your ancestors wanted when they first looked up at the stars," she replied. "Knowledge, understanding, the chance to learn and grow, to share what we know and discover what we don't, to find our place in a universe larger than ourselves." A soft alert sounded from a nearby console. Tenvar checked the readings. "Director, the Council is requesting an immediate update. They've detected the quantum entanglement field." Vexel's patterns shifted to indicate decision-making. This moment would define Zorvan-human relations for generations to come. The Council would expect him to report this unauthorized contact, to recommend quarantine protocols until humans could be properly evaluated. But looking at the transformed device and the hologram of Dr. Chen, Vexel saw something his scientific training hadn't prepared him for, the reflection of the Zorvan's own journey from frightened prey species to galactic citizens. Humans had taken a different evolutionary path, but their destination might not be so different after all. "Dr. Chen," Vexel said finally, "I believe there is merit in continued dialogue between our species, outside the formal structures of the Galactic Science Council, at least for now." Relief showed on the holographic human's face. "Thank you, Director. However," Vexel continued, "I must make an accurate report to my superiors. The Council will need to know that humans have advanced beyond previous estimates, that you've initiated contact rather than waiting for it, and that you possess technology approaching galactic standards in certain areas." "We understand," Dr. Chen nodded. "We ask only for fair assessment, not special treatment." "There is one thing I don't understand," Nari interjected. "Why allow us to observe Earth for months before revealing yourselves? Why not initiate contact immediately upon detecting our presence?" Dr. Chen smiled. "We wanted to see what you would notice about us, what you would find important, what would intrigue you enough to bring aboard your ship. Your choices told us much about the Zorvan perspective." "And what did you learn?" Vexel asked, genuinely curious. "That, like us, you are driven by curiosity. That you value knowledge and approach new situations with caution rather than aggression. That despite our differences, we share a fundamental scientific outlook. These similarities give me hope for our future relations." The quantum field around the device pulsed gently, and several new data streams appeared on the laboratory screens. "I've taken the liberty of transmitting some additional information," Dr. Chen explained. "Detailed historical records, scientific data we believe might interest you, and a formal invitation for continued dialogue. We hope these will assist in your assessment." Vexel studied the incoming data. It would take weeks for his team to properly analyze everything, but even a cursory examination showed that humans were offering unprecedented access to their scientific knowledge. "This is generous," he acknowledged. "It's the beginning of trust," Dr. Chen replied. "Something both our species will need to cultivate." A second alert sounded, more urgent this time. "The Council is initiating direct communication," Director Tenvar warned. "They're requesting visual confirmation of our status." Vexel turned back to the hologram. "Dr. Chen, I must speak with my superiors now. What happens next will depend on their reaction." "We understand," the human nodded. "The FCPI will remain active, allowing you to re-establish communication when you're ready. We will await your response, whatever it may be." With that, the holographic figure disappeared, though the transformed device continued to pulse gently in the containment field. Vexel straightened his posture, preparing to face the council. His report would shape the future relationship between two very different species, both reaching for the stars from very different starting points. As the scientists prepared the specialized testing chamber, Vexel retreated to his private office. He needed to update the council immediately. If humans possess technology this advanced, the first contact protocols might need revision. A species with unlimited energy production could advance exponentially faster than predicted. The communication link to the Zorvan homeworld took several minutes to establish. When the council chairperson's image appeared on the screen, Vexel could see from her bioluminescent patterns that she was already concerned. Director Vexel, your unscheduled communication suggests something significant has occurred. Indeed, Chairperson, Vexel replied. We have retrieved a human device that appears to violate our understanding of energy conservation principles. If our preliminary analysis is correct, humans may have developed technology far beyond our estimates. The chairperson's patterns shifted to deep concern. Proceed with utmost caution, Director. If humans truly possess such advanced technology, while still exhibiting their characteristic aggression and territoriality. She didn't need to finish the thought. Both Zorvans understood the implications. A species with both advanced technology and predatory instincts could present a serious concern to galactic stability. We are preparing to activate the device under maximum containment, Vexel assured her. I will report our findings immediately. As the communication ended, Vexel returned to the laboratory. The human device had been transferred to the quantum-isolated chamber, a room designed to contain even theoretical quantum catastrophes. All preparations complete, Director Marin reported. We're ready to initiate activation sequence. Vexel took a final look at the innocuous cylinder. Something about it troubled him deeply. How could such a simple-looking device harbor technology that defied fundamental physical laws? Proceed, he ordered. The activation sequence began. On the monitoring screens, they watched as the device powered up. Its small display illuminated with symbols they had yet to fully decode. Energy production increasing, reported a scientist. Containment field stable. For several tense moments, nothing dramatic happened. The device hummed softly, its display cycling through various readouts. Then, without warning, it emitted a soft chime. What was that? Vexel demanded. Before anyone could answer, the device's exterior shell reconfigured itself, panels sliding open to reveal a more complex interior structure. Remarkable, whispered Marin. It's transforming. The transformation continued, the device unfolding like an exotic flower until it bore little resemblance to its original cylindrical form. Energy output increasing exponentially, called out a monitoring technician, but still contained within our fields. On the chamber floor, the device had stopped transforming. It now resembled a complex geometric shape with multiple components orbiting a central core. It's beautiful, Neri said softly. Then the device emitted a pulse of energy that made the containment fields flare brightly. Status, Vexel demanded. Containment holding, Tenvar confirmed. But that pulse, it wasn't destructive. It was informational, Marin finished, staring at her readings. The device just transmitted a massive data package directly into our systems. Vexel felt his exoskeleton grow cold with alarm. Isolate all systems immediately. This could be an attack. But before they could react, every screen in the laboratory changed simultaneously. The Zorvan text and diagrams disappeared, replaced by a single message in human English. Hello, we are humanity. We come in peace. As the Zorvans stared in shock, the message began to cycle through thousands of different languages, not just human languages, but alien ones as well, including, to their absolute astonishment, perfect Zorvan. Impossible, whispered Vexel. They couldn't possibly know our language. Director, Marin called out, her voice trembling. According to these readings, the device is generating a quantum entanglement field. It's linking with something. With what? Vexel demanded. Before Marin could answer, a new hologram appeared above the transformed device, a three-dimensional representation of a human figure. "Greetings, scientists of the Zorvan Confederation," the figure said in flawless Zorvan. "We've been expecting you." The nature of humanity. Silence fell over the Zorvan laboratory as the holographic human figure stood before them, its expression calm, and its posture non-threatening. The Zorvan's bioluminescent patterns flashed with alarm and confusion, emotions rarely displayed so openly among their methodical species. "Please don't be alarmed," the hologram continued. "My name is Dr. Ileana Chen, head of Scientific Relations for the United Earth Alliance. We've been aware of your observation mission for some time." Director Vexel stepped forward, his compound eyes fixed on the impossible apparition. "How is this possible?" he demanded. "Earth has no detection technology capable of identifying our vessel, and you cannot possibly know our language." The holographic human smiled. "You're partially correct, Director Vexel. Until recently, we had no conventional means of detecting your ship, but we've been developing quantum resonance technology that allows us to sense disturbances in space-time fabric. Your ship creates such disturbances, despite your advanced cloaking." Nari moved closer to Vexel, her patterns displaying skepticism. "And our language. Our communication protocols. That's where things get interesting," Dr. Chen replied. "The device you've retrieved isn't a weapon. It's what we call a First Contact Protocol Initiator, or FCPI. It was designed specifically to be interesting enough for species like yours to want to study it." Chief Engineer Tenvar approached the containment field, examining the transformed device with new understanding. "Allure," he said. "You created a technological puzzle that would attract scientific attention." "Precisely," Dr. Chen nodded. "The energy signature was deliberately engineered to seem anomalous, and the closed-circuit systems were designed to provoke curiosity. Once activated in a laboratory environment, the FCPI establishes quantum entanglement with our central communication hub and facilitates this conversation." Vexel's bioluminescent patterns shifted to indicate deep thought. "You anticipated that we would retrieve this device, that we would bring it aboard our ship and attempt to study it. We've been studying psychology and behavior patterns of various theoretical alien species for decades," Dr. Chen explained. "The Zorvan approach, cautious observation followed by minimal sampling, was one of our predicted first contact scenarios." Chief Scientist Marin had been analyzing the data streaming from the transformed device. She turned to Vexel, her patterns now showing astonishment. "Director, the quantum entanglement field is genuine. This device is maintaining real-time communication across at least 384,400 kilometers, the distance to Earth. Such technology it should be centuries beyond human capability." The holographic Dr. Chen smiled again. "That's the most fascinating aspect of human development, isn't it? Our unpredictability. While your civilization advances in a careful, measured progression, humans tend to make breakthrough leaps in unexpected areas." Vexel struggled to process the implications. The Galactic Science Council had severely underestimated human technological capabilities. If they had mastered quantum entanglement communication, what other advanced technologies might they possess? "Why reveal yourselves to us now?" Vexel asked. "According to our understanding, Earth nations still maintain separation. You have no unified world government. Your space exploration remains primitive compared to interstellar standards. Appearances can be deceiving," Dr. Chen replied. "What you've observed is what we've chosen to let the universe observe. The United Earth Alliance has existed in secret for nearly 40 years, bringing together the best scientific minds across all nations. On the laboratory screens, new images appeared: massive underground facilities, advanced spacecraft unlike anything visible on Earth's surface, and technology that rivaled or exceeded Zorvan capabilities. After our first detection of non-Earth signals in the 1980s, certain factions on Earth realized we needed to prepare for eventual contact. Dr. Chen continued. But we also recognized that our visible disunity and apparent technological limitations provided a useful camouflage while we developed. First observer, Neri, stepped forward. You've been hiding your true capabilities. Why? History and caution. Dr. Chen answered. Humanity's own history shows that when technologically advanced civilizations encounter less developed ones, the outcomes are rarely positive for the less developed group. We wanted to ensure we could meet any species as equals, not as potential subjects. The implications stunned the Zorvan scientists. Humans had not only detected their presence, but had engineered this entire encounter. The species they had been studying them in return. The apparent energy violation, Vexel said, pieces falling into place. It was deliberately designed to intrigue us. Yes, Dr. Chen confirmed. We don't actually violate energy conservation principles. The device creates a minor temporal displacement field that makes it appear to generate excess energy. The technology is complex, but follows established physical laws. Tenvar had been examining the technical specifications now displayed on the laboratory screens. This level of advancement, he said quietly, if humans possess this technology planet-wide. We don't, Dr. Chen admitted. Much of what you're seeing represents our cutting-edge research, not widespread implementation. Most humans remain unaware of these developments or the existence of the Alliance. Vexel's patterns shifted to indicate caution and diplomatic formality. What are your intentions, Dr. Chen? Why reveal yourselves to us in this manner? The holographic human's expression became more serious. Because we've reached a crossroads, Director Vexel. Our monitoring systems have detected increased Zorvan communication with your homeworld. We believe you're preparing a report that will classify Earth according to standard Galactic Science Council protocols. That report will shape how your civilization, and potentially others, approach relations with Earth for generations to come. Marin interjected, you know about the Galactic Science Council. We've intercepted and decoded enough of your communications to understand the basic structure, Dr. Chen confirmed. And we know that species classifications can lead to very different contact protocols. Vexel couldn't deny the logic. The Council's classification system determined everything from observation restrictions to quarantine recommendations. What is it you want from us? He asked. An accurate assessment, Dr. Chen replied simply. Not based on our public face, but on our true capabilities and potential. And perhaps, if you're willing, the beginning of a more direct dialogue. The laboratory fell silent as the Zorvans processed this extraordinary development. First contact was supposed to occur gradually, carefully, according to established protocols refined over thousands of years of galactic civilization. Not like this, engineered by the very species being contacted. You must understand our concern, Vexel said finally. Your species has an extensively documented history of conflict. Your technological development has been deeply intertwined with warfare. From our perspective, a rapidly advancing predatory species presents certain risks. Dr. Chen nodded solemnly. We understand those concerns perfectly, Director. In fact, we share them. Humanity's capacity for violence and destruction is precisely why the Alliance was formed. To ensure that our advancement into the galactic community would be guided by our better nature, not our worst instincts. On the screens around the laboratory, new images appeared. Humans building together, healing the sick, restoring ecosystems, creating art. Yes, we evolved as predators, Dr. Chen continued. Yes, our history contains darkness and violence that shames us. But that's not the complete picture of humanity. Our capacity for cooperation, compassion, and creation is equally defining. We've learned from our brutal history, not perfectly, not completely, but significantly. Neri studied the images, her patterns showing cautious interest. Yet your public activities still include armed conflicts, environmental degradation, and social division. We are a species in transition, Dr. Chen acknowledged. The path from what we were to what we can become isn't linear or simple. But I invite you to consider this. Despite our predatory origins and our capacity for destruction, humans have consistently chosen to limit our own worst impulses. The screens now showed historical images, the formation of the United Nations, international treaties banning chemical and biological weapons, conservation efforts, and peace negotiations. We developed nuclear weapons, then created treaties to limit them. We caused environmental damage, then pioneered restoration ecology. We fought wars, then established international laws to reduce civilian casualties. Each time, imperfectly but persistently, we've recognized our destructive potential and worked to channel it toward more constructive ends. Vexel had to admit the argument had merit. The Zorvan studies of Earth had focused primarily on human conflicts and technological threats, a natural emphasis for a species evolved from prey animals. Perhaps they had undervalued humanity's capacity for self-regulation and growth. Drone has entered Earth's atmosphere, reported the operations officer. No detection from human monitoring systems. On the main view screen, they watched through the drone's sensors as it approached the Nevada desert. A small convoy of 3 vehicles moved along an empty road, their headlights cutting through the darkness. Central vehicle contains the target device, Neri confirmed. Energy signature matches our scans. Proceed with extraction, Vexel ordered. The drone descended, hovering 50 meters above the moving vehicles. It deployed a specialized extraction field, a shimmering cone of energy invisible to human perception. The field penetrated the central vehicle's roof without damaging it and locked onto the target device. Extraction field engaged, Tenvar reported. We have molecular lock. For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then, silently, a small metallic object rose through the vehicle's roof, the material parting and resealing without damage as the object passed through. Extraction complete, Tenvar announced. The humans show no sign of awareness. The drone retrieved the object, a cylindrical device approximately 30 centimeters long, and ascended rapidly back into space. Return to the ship, Vexel ordered. Maximum stealth protocols. 3 hours later, the drone docked with the quantum seeker, and the mysterious human device was transferred to a containment chamber. Zorvan scientists gathered around it, their compound eyes reflecting the bright laboratory lights. Initial scans complete, announced Chief Scientist Marin. The device appears to be what humans call the XM79 Adaptive Response System. According to the partial data we extracted from their networks, it's a new type of defensive technology. Defensive? Vexel questioned, examining the deceptively simple exterior. It seems rather small for a significant defensive weapon. That's what makes it intriguing, Marin replied. The energy signature suggests capabilities far beyond its size. The cylindrical device sat innocuously on the examination table. Its metallic surface was unremarkable, with only a few control interfaces and a small display screen visible. Shall we activate it? Tenvar suggested. Our containment fields can neutralize any harmful effects. Vexel's bioluminescent patterns flashed warning colors. Not yet. First, we must understand its principle of operation. Humans have demonstrated remarkable creativity in their weaponry. We should not underestimate this device. For the next several hours, the Zorvan scientists conducted non-invasive analysis of the XM79. They mapped its internal components, analyzed its power source, and attempted to decode its operating system. This is unexpected, Marin said finally, her patterns indicating confusion. The device contains components that appear to serve no functional purpose. Explain, Vexel demanded. These circuits here, Marin pointed to the holographic representation of the device's interior. They form closed loops. Energy flows through them, but doesn't power any systems. And these components, they're arranged in patterns that defy conventional engineering logic. Could it be a trap? Neri suggested. Perhaps they detected our observation and planted this device to mislead us. Unlikely, Tenvar countered. Our presence remains undetected according to all monitoring systems. Vexil studied the hologram carefully. There must be a purpose to this design. Humans may be chaotic and unpredictable, but they are not inefficient without reason. Director called a junior scientist from across the laboratory. I've completed the analysis of the power source. And it's remarkable. The device generates more energy than it consumes. A stunned silence fell over the laboratory. Such technology violated the fundamental energy conservation principles that govern Zorvan science. Impossible, Tenvar declared. Check your readings again. I've checked 3 times. The junior scientist insisted. The device creates a small but measurable energy surplus through some mechanism we can't identify. Vexil moved closer to the device, his scientific curiosity overcoming his caution. If humans have developed technology that generates excess energy from a portable device this size, it would represent a breakthrough centuries beyond their current technological level. Nari finished. And beyond our own, Marin added quietly. The implications were staggering. If humans possessed such advanced energy technology, what else might they be capable of? The Galactic Science Council had classified Earth as a Category 3 developing world, advancing but still centuries from becoming a galactic civilization. This discovery suggested that assessment might be drastically wrong. We need to understand how this works, Vexil decided. Prepare for controlled activation in a quantum-isolated chamber. Maximum containment protocols. As the council members' images appeared on the main screen, Vexil made his decision. He would recommend neither immediate integration nor cautious quarantine, but a middle path, controlled cultural and scientific exchange, while both species learned more about each other. Director Vexil, the council chairperson began, explain the unscheduled quantum activity we've detected from your vessel. Honorable chairperson, members of the council, Vexil replied, his pattern showing calm determination. I must report that our mission parameters have changed significantly. We have made first contact with humanity. Shocked patterns rippled across the council members' exoskeletons. Impossible, declared one elder. Humans have no technology capable of detecting our observation vessels. That assessment was incorrect, Vexil stated simply. Humans have developed in ways we fail to anticipate, and they have chosen to reach out to us. Not in fear or aggression, but in curiosity and peace. This violates all contact protocols. Another council member objected. Yes, Vexil agreed. Just as humans' technological development defies our standard progression models, I believe we are dealing with something unprecedented in our contact history. A species that has evolved along an entirely different path than our own, yet arrived at many of the same values. Explain, demanded the chairperson. Vexil gestured to the transformed device, still pulsing in its containment field. This device represents humanity's approach to the galaxy, complex, innovative, unpredictable, yet ultimately designed for connection rather than destruction. They could have created weapons to defend against potential threats from the stars. Instead, they created this, a bridge between species. Behind him, the Zorvan scientists watched in silence, their patterns showing a mixture of concern and hope. Whatever the council decided, everything had changed. Humanity was no longer just a subject of study. They were now participants in the galactic conversation. And perhaps, Vexil thought as he began his formal report, that conversation would be richer for including a species that had journeyed from predator to explorer, from conqueror to creator, from isolation to reaching for the stars. In the quantum-isolated chamber, the transformed human device continued its gentle pulsing, a beacon of connection between two worlds that had evolved in radically different ways, but now faced a shared future among the stars.